What's growing on your towel? Today we're going to be talking to the people about the disgusting things that grows on their towel and talking about personal hygiene. And once we're done with the conversation, we're going to be leaving them with A Radiant Living and the book Ministry of Healing. So stay tuned to see what you'll find out.
Do you know what's lurking in your towels?
No, I hope nothing.
Well, let's see about that. Using a standard testing procedure, we swabbed her towel with sterilized Bacti swabs.
So you'll know what's in your towels.
Yeah, I want to.
And then we sent them off to Microm Labs in Davie, Florida. 2 weeks later, the results came back. Would they be nice or nasty?
We found one fungus and 5 different bacteria, including E. coli.
Oh no, that's awful.
Wait, there's more. Marissa used the same towel for a week. On day 1, the bacteria count was 260,000. But by day 7, it had shot up to 650 million.
What? Million.
Million with an M.
Joy, I'm going to have you hold the iPad right here and just press number 1, which is going to give you the question.
Okay, what can be found in dirty towels? 1, bacteria, 2, fungi, 3, viruses, 4, all of above.
So what do you think the answer is?
I'm going with 4.
Me too. 4.
Yeah, me too.
Probably all the above.
What, all the above?
Yeah.
4.
All right, let's click on your answer to
I
see.
don't know if fungi can grow in towels. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if fungi can grow in wet environments.
You're not sure?
I don't know about fungi.
I'm going to go with all of the above.
Okay, just tap the space for us there.
Okay.
Quick answer to give.
All of the above.
All right, all of the above.
Viruses can.
Okay, yeah, we changed our answer. It's bacteria.
4, all of the above.
I could be wrong.
The peer pressure, I tell you.
What is the answer?
All right, let's click the space bar and see what the answer was.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Peer pressure. That was peer pressure right there. That was peer
I
pressure.
thought you picked your own answer. You didn't listen to me.
It's all of the above, right? So actually millions of bacteria, fungi, and viruses can grow on your towel. And the reason for that, you mentioned viruses, right? And he's the host. So we have millions of skin cells on our bodies, right? And those skin cells transfer to our towels, and therefore viruses can now grow on those, right? And one of the bacteria is actually E. coli in our water as well, right? So yes, all of the above can grow in our towels.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's really gross.
Okay, we are not going to tell my husband about this at all.
No.
All right, so let's go to the next one here. You can hit number 2 for me.
How many skin cells do we have in every inch of our bodies?
The options are 10 million, 18 million, and 19 million. So I'm going to go with the most.
Okay.
10 million.
Are you sure? You seem like you're not sure about it.
Together, I don't really know.
I'm going to guess 19 million.
18 million?
Okay. Delia says 19 million. Mom says 18 million. Hit the space. Let's see.
19 million.
All right. 19 million. That's right.
That's a lucky guess.
So now this is a pretty interesting fact because there are 19 million skin cells on every inch of your body. So that's a lot if you think about it, just every inch, right? So now what happens is when you take a shower, of course, you're cleaning your body. A lot of those skin cells, they're falling off. But when you use your towel, some of the skin cells also go on your towel. So now what happens is if you share your towel with somebody else, then you're getting their skin cells. What do you think about that?
That's pretty gross.
Like, have you ever shared a towel with someone?
I make sure not to.
Okay.
Have you ever shared towel before?
That's nasty.
Because I know I've done it in the past, but now learning that, I'm like, wow, that's
Nasty.
That's nasty.
When I was growing up, I used to share towels. So, but
When you little though. That's different when you little.
yeah. But now, you can't be growing and sharing.
Grown body parts going on now. We can't do that. We ain't gonna do that. Okay.
So let's go to number 3.
This preventative measure will slow the growth of bacteria in used towels.
1, hang it up. 2, iron it. 3, dry it in the dryer. 3.
Well, are you sure?
I mean, I'm not, but I'm guessing.
I definitely have to like drying it.
drying it. Drying it.
Drying it.
We have a glow.
Nature's proteins a lot. So I mean, I'd go just drying the whole thing.
What's different from ironing it though?
You might get every square inch of your iron. You might miss a little spot here and there. Heating it, you can the whole thing's in there. I mean,
Yeah,
you
let's
can't-
dry it.
You can't miss a spot while you dry it.
Hang it up, iron it, or dry it in the dryer. Dry it in the dryer.
Is that final?
No, I'm gonna go hang it up. Oh, it was drying in the dryer.
Look at yeah, yeah. You kind of die yourself there, but of course, drying it in the dryer actually helps to slow down the growth of bacteria.
The heat.
Yeah, that's right. So as soon as you use it, and then you dry it up, and of course, the towel being inside of the restroom, there's no sunlight, there's no fresh air coming through, so it's the perfect haven for those bacteria to grow.
Of course, normally all of us, we take a shower, wipe ourselves off with the towel, and we hang it up. Now, when you do that, it's still wet, and bacteria, fungi, they like to grow on warm, moist, and damp surfaces. So the best thing to do is actually throw it in the dryer, which will heat it up, and that will slow the growth, because bacteria lives on everything, right? We just want to do the best to prevent.
Keep washing it all the time, then you're like, your towel's gonna wear out, right? So
That's okay. I'd rather have a weary towel than
this is true. I don't know. I read a book that has everything from like 2053, and they actually have hair dryers. You get out of the shower and you get in an air dryer, and the air blows around your body. So maybe we need to consider that. A red light thing, and it was a heat lamp we used to have in our bathroom. I mean, and it just kind of. How old are you? You didn't have one of those? Okay, go to the next one.
All right, that's interesting. All right, that's interesting. So let's.
he didn't know he got himself into.
All right, let's do number 4.
As a general rule, after how many days is it recommended to wash our towels?
7 days, 3 days, or 5 days. I'm gonna guess 3 days.
All right. You catching on?
3 days.
Who's nasty? I say 3.
I mean, I'm gonna do 3.
Who's nasty in here real quick? Go ahead.
I'm guessing it's 5, but I'm going with 3 because
make it
that's
look
what
the
I
best.
do.
3 makes me look the best, so I'm going with 3.
I'm gonna go with 3 days.
3 days. All right, let's check your answers. She is 4 for 4 right now. I can't believe this. So yes, absolutely. As a general rule, 3 days is recommended to change your towels, because after that day, the towels would have been, accumulated those bacteria, and it's time to change those towels. Now, what's interesting about this, Denisha, is that this 3 days is actually a biblical principle. Now, let me ask you this. As it relates to Jesus Christ, how many days did Christ spend in the tomb before rising?
3
days, right?
The third day? It was 3. On the third day, he rose. Yeah, exactly. It was the third day.
The third day, that's right.
Now, let me ask you this question. I'm not too sure if you're biblical scholars, but how many days was Christ in the grave?
3.
3.
Yeah, ask me don't again. I know that one for a fact.
That's a fact, right? So
What's the connection there?
all right, so let me give you the connection. Let me give you the connection, right? Let me make the connection before you guys run. Let me make the connection with 3 days in Christ, right? So after 3 days, Christ rose from the grave, right? Showing us that after 3 days, our bodies would see corruption. Are you familiar with the story of Lazarus in John 11?
Yes, he stayed 4 days, isn't it?
4 days. Did his body see corruption?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and he began to stink, right?
Biblically, he was like officially dead after the 4th day. Yeah.
Exactly, and his body saw corruption. So we see the same principle in the natural world, right? After 4 days, the towel now begins to starts to stink, right? And now bacteria grows more and more. Even millions of bacteria now find themselves on the towel. So we kind of see the biblical as well as the natural, right?
All right, so we're doing great. Zaire, last question.
An ounce of blank is worth a pound of cure.
1 health, 2 prevention, 3 disease. I'm gonna say prevention.
All right, hit the space bar.
An ounce of blank is worth a pound of cure. Health, prevention, or disease.
It's better than treatment always. That's 2.
Prevention, Emmanuel says prevention. What do you say, man?
An ounce of prevention, yeah.
Prevention?
2.
Prevention? All right, let's check your answers. You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Always, prevention is always better than cures. We know that across the board, right?
Prevention? It was right, y'all. It was right. Prevention.
Yes. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And the principle here is that, it's better for us to utilize some of these methods like washing our towels, every 3 days or drying it after we use it to prevent ourselves from getting these bacteria, these sickness and disease, because the saying is that cleanliness is next
to godliness.
That's right. So cleanliness is next to godliness. So God says in 3 John 2, he says, beloved, I also above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. So God not only wants us to prosper spiritually, but physically as well. Right. Now, my sister, what are your thoughts on this?
Wash y'all towels and y'all's everything else. Because y'all see it. It's right there.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I do have a gift for you today. Yes. Thank you. All right. And this bag is a book called The Ministry of Healing, as well as a magazine called Radiant Living that's going to help you on your journey to health. All right. Thank you. Any last thoughts?
Nope. Just wash y'all towels.
All right. Well, God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.